them to up to speed. We are also going to be recording this meeting, so if you may have a problem with your name or facing on camera, you can just send us a message privately, and just let us know, and we will use it anywhere. Our intention is to send it to the individuals that registered that weren't able to make it. So, welcome everybody to Social Media and Advocacy. We are so excited for this and for the series that we're doing. This is our first meeting, and next week we will be doing communications and advocacy, where my colleague Connor will be talking about op-eds and LTEs in advocacy. So let's get the ball rolling. My name is Amanda Klein Robertson. I am with the Virginia Interfaith Center for Public Policy. I work as their social media coordinator, as well as I do Southwest Virginia outreach. Um, so, just broad overview of Virginia Interfaith Center. Our mission is to engage with people of faith and goodwill, to advocate for economic, racial, social justice, and in Virginia's policies and practices through education, prayer, and action. And I'm going to toss it over to my Connor colleague if he is feeling up to introducing VAIPL. Would love to have him do that.
Yeah, of course. For those who I haven't met, my name is Connor Epley. I'm the communications manager for Virginia Interfaith Power and Light. Very, similar mission to our friends at VSIP. We collaborate with people of faith and goodwill to grow healthy communities by advancing climate and environmental justice around Virginia. And apologies for not being on camera today. I'm not feeling too well, so I was still wanted to be here and join all of you, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking a little rough right now, so that's why I'm off camera. But I, look forward to talking with you all today, and hopefully you all will hop on our call next week where we'll be talking more about letters to the editor and op-eds.
Thank you so much, Connor. Thank you so much for powering through and being here with us. Happy to have you here. Alrighty. So just to get things started, I would love introductions for camera ability is truly that's what you can do. So just
Amanda,
your name. Mhm.
Sorry, you were going out for a second. Can you go back a few seconds for people?
Yeah, absolutely. Am I doing good now? Can you hear me?
Yep, it was just going out for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, your audio is breaking up a little bit for me, though.
Okay. I'll try to talk slower and get closer to the screen and see if that'll help. But we want to do some brief introductions of everybody. Whatever your comfortability level is with your camera, you can keep it off, you can turn it on, whatever. If you want to just share your name and what is one thing you're hoping to get out of today's session. And in the chat, if you're able to tell us your favorite social media platform. So I'll go first. Like I said, my name is Amanda Klein Robertson. One thing I'm hoping to get from today's session is to be able to give you all something that you can take home with you, that you can use in your day-to-day life, whatever comfortability or media. And my favorite social media platform is Instagram. So let's going to pass it off to Jenny. We'll start with you. If you want to introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi.
Hey.
So I am hoping to just get some ways to be able to engage with social media. My social media favorite platform is also Instagram, though I'm really just not a huge social media person. But I recognize that I've got to be able to use the tools to advocate for my opinions and our democracy. So I so appreciate you all doing this workshop.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so glad you're here. Thank you so much, Jenny. All right, I'm gonna pass it on over to Cheryl. How are you doing, Cheryl? Oh, you're
Oops. Yeah, now I did.
ready to go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So I put YouTube because I don't really do that much commuting on the others, but I get a lot of information from YouTube, and I guess I'm curious as to how the people who are communicating on YouTube are, putting it out there and just understanding more about how it works, I think, more than anything is my goal.
I gotcha. Thank you so much for being here, Cheryl. All right, I'll pass it over to Rachel.
Hi, sorry, I'm having some trouble with my video, but I think one thing I'd like to get out of this session is I really enjoy scrolling Instagram in my own time, but just the thought of just engaging in social media for work, it just drains all of the energy out of me. So I'd like to just have a renewed enthusiasm, appreciation for it, because I know it is important. So.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we can help you out with that renewing energy today. All right, Mercedes, let's have you go next. Mercedes, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I just have 1,001 tabs open. Hi, I'm Mercedes. She, her pronouns. I'm looking to get some tools that I can use while operating social media. My favorite platform. It's like between TikTok and Instagram are my favorites.
I gotcha. I'm in the same boat. I love a good TikTok scroll. All right, I'll pass it over to Matt.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good, how are
Here,
you?
I'll get my camera on. See how we do there. There we go. Sorry, I'm working in my kid's room.
You're
Um,
good.
all right. So here, how's that? There, right there. So, what is one thing I hope to get out of today's session? Just started doing some outreach with a social justice group in Falls Church, and am interested in learning more about that. I know it's important to do. We want to do more of it. And I don't use social media except for YouTube, so it's new to me. I've just never personally been interested in doing it. So everything I learn will probably be pretty new.
I gotcha. Well, we're glad to have you.
Thanks.
Of course. All right, I'll pass it over to Lucy.
Hi, I also don't use much social media, but I on this because I wanted to learn about it as a tool, especially thinking about how we can better communicate between the generations, because like the younger people use it a lot, and I don't know how they use it, and I don't know how we can, yeah, that's where I'm coming from. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. All right, Janice,
Hi, Janice Hawkins. And I'm camera off because I'm having dinner while I'm listening in. But
you're
I'm a
totally fine.
registered nurse, and I'm just always interested in learning more about how to increase awareness of how climate impacts health. And have worked with Connor before on iPad with that, so that I found you guys to be very helpful.
Yeah, awesome. We're so happy to have you here. Thank you for being here. All right, Mary Beth. Mary Beth, are you there? All right, that's okay.
No, I'm
Oh,
here. I'm here. I'm
oh,
sorry. This
no,
is a
you're
little
totally
different
fine.
format than I'm used to. I do not use social media because I dislike it. I'm only thing I check my friends on Facebook, but it just seems like social media is just like a black hole you get into. That's my opinion. But I'm open to learning about it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for being here. I hope we can teach you something today that you can take away and not feel so black hole about social media. So,
Thank you.
all right. I believe last but not least, I have Emily who can introduce yourself.
Hi there. It looks like my camera's not set up on this computer, but I'm Emily. I don't use much social media in my personal life, but I use it a lot for my job in communications. So I'm a LinkedIn fan. sleeper social media, but I'm hoping to learn a little bit more about how to write specifically for social media copy.
Awesome. Yeah, I love LinkedIn. I love a good post and connect networking online. All right, my friends, thank you so much for those lovely introductions. Let's get right into it. So, just a broad overview of what social media is. Social media refers to online platforms and applications that enable users to create and share content or participate in social networking. It connects people across geographic boundaries through text, images, videos, and live interactions. I got this definition from Knowledge Academy, and all these little icons down here, those are different social media apps. You might recognize a few of them. We'll get a little bit more into what each platform does. So, Facebook, I heard a lot of Facebook comments when you all were talking. So Facebook is truly your best starting point if you're just starting out with social media. You can create groups on there of advocates and people that might be in your congregation, or if you're using Facebook for work, you can create it for a cause, share updates, organize events, and reach people in different age groups who are already there. It's truly useful all around for everything. Next platform, my favorite platform, as I said, is Instagram. This is best if you want to share an inspiring quote, maybe some event photos from events that had already happened, or advocacy messages visually. And on Instagram, you can share pictures or videos. Um, Either or works. It's helpful for reaching younger generations too in your community. X, known as Twitter, is useful in your advocacy if this involves contacting specifically elected officials or joining larger public conversations around a cause. A lot of time, politicians and journalists, reporters, a lot of times they pay attention on there. Um, LinkedIn, as we kind of were talking about, if your advocacy really involves professional networking, nonprofits, or fundraising, partnerships, you can make those connections on there. Virginia Interfaith has a LinkedIn. We use it and share what has happened with our staff or even some intern updates. It's a lovely platform. And then YouTube, which a few of you guys talked about already. This is awesome. I would say, especially if you're maybe coming from a foundation or if you're just here to learn about you can forward sermons or speeches or advocacy messages so people can watch anytime. So say you're coming from a congregation, if your people in your congregation happen to miss a sermon, just record it while you're there. You can upload it on YouTube and share it with them so they can still watch what they missed. All right. So I'm going to get into a few social media tips. Just a broad overview. I think I have around 5 tips, but I have a larger sheet that has around 20 different tips and tricks of social media that I'm going to email you all after the Zoom, just to give you a little bit more afterwards so you can refer back to it if you're having trouble. So I just want to start off by saying that your phone is plenty when you're working with social media. Most phones nowadays with new smartphones or whatever, they have a very good camera, very good video recording. You can download all of the apps that we were talking about. It is plenty. I promise you. You don't feel like you have to be a professional when uploading posts. For captions, this is my second tip. Lead with stories. And what I mean by that is I'll show you an example. So this example comes from a few weeks ago when myself and another colleague, we've got to see the Buddhist monks that were traveling on their peace walk from Fort Worth, Texas, all the way up to Washington, D.C. This is a small caption, a small story. So I'll read it. It says, yesterday, several of our team were among the thousands who gathered in downtown Richmond to honor Buddha's monks, marking their 100th day of their remarkable walk for peace. Now, this is a short story, but it could have been longer, which I have an example of that too. So this comes from, we had our annual Advocacy Day, Day for All People with Virginia Interfaith Power and Light. And this one is a longer story, but it definitely got some more engagement because I was telling the story of what happened that day. So I'll read it. The voices echoed through the Capitol halls last week as 400 plus people of faith and goodwill gathered for our annual Advocacy Day for All People. We fanned out in the heart of downtown Richmond through the General Assembly building and Centenary United Methodist Church, sitting down with legislative leaders and their staff, sharing stories from our communities, making the case for policies that protect the vulnerable and uplift the marginalized. Between meetings, we gathered in workshops, learning, strategizing, equipping each other with the tools to keep this work going long after the day ended. And when we came back together, the freedom songs rang out. Those old melodies that carried our ancestors through their struggles are now carrying us through ours. 400 plus people walked in that building last week. 400 plus people walked out more connected, more empowered, more ready to build the world we believe in. Thank you for every single person who showed up. And then I gave credit to the person who took our beautiful pictures that day. So the reason that you can share stories is it gives people an overall view of what the day was like, rather than just posting, oh, hey, this event happened last week. This gives a little bit more insight to what happened. My next tip is photos of real people engage best. Faces and eyes draw attention the most. Now, you don't have to post photos of real people every single post. I know sometimes it's hard to get out and get pictures of people all the time. So an inspiring quote in between pictures of people is great, or a flyer for an event coming up is also wonderful too. I'll give you an example of how pictures of people engage on social media the best. So this is a bill updates post from Virginia Interfaith Social Media, and no faces are in it. It's very important to still post, though. It shows how our bills are doing. This is from January 24th. This got around 14 likes, no comments, no shares. And then this post was beginning of General Assembly, so I want to say middle of January. And this got around 93 likes and 2 comments, no shares, but still, the engagement you can see, though, is a lot of people love to see people's faces, and in the comments, you can maybe write what you would fire. So I could have post of our beautiful staff and wrote about how our bills were passing and such like that. So my next tip is ask questions and invite responses. Don't argue in your comments though. Is in your captions, you can ask people, for example, if you're promoting an event, you can ask who they might be bringing to the event. Just invite some friendly conversation. And don't argue in the comments. What I mean by that is if somebody comes in and is maybe trying to different views than you, maybe trying to start a conversation that's a little bit more heated, if you're, especially if you're on a public profile, a bigger profile, I definitely would not engage in that conversation in the comments. Now, if they're asking genuine questions that might seem a little bit different than the views that you're posting, it's wonderful to have a conversation like that. But if it's just questions that to get anger in the comments, you can always hide a comment, you can always delete a comment. Yeah, I'm gonna check the chat real quick. I think I saw a chat come up. Oh, I'm breaking up pretty badly. Jenny, can you hear me a little bit better?
My audio is off. Yes, I can hear you better, but it's like when you turn your head, you're so expressive the way you move your head when you speak that sometimes for me it's breaking up. I don't know if that's happening for other people too.
Okay.
And it could be my connection. I'm in the country.
All good. I'll be
Amanda,
sure
I think
to.
it's better now that we turned off our audio, our video, and I don't
Okay.
get as much breakup. So that works.
Okay, interesting. Well, I'll try and get a little bit closer to the screen and see if that helps, okay?
That definitely helps. That definitely helps.
Okay. Cool deal. All right, let's get back into it. Can you all see my screen still?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. My last and final tip I want to say is remember your why. So what I mean by this is remember why you are wanting to post on social media, what cause you're working for. Um, for me, my why is to tell the stories of others, and that's why I'm in the career that I'm in. I love to share people's stories. I love to hear people's stories. So maybe that's your why too, or maybe your why is to educate others. If you don't have a why for why you want to use social media, think of one, come up with one, sit with it for a while. Doesn't have to be right on the spot, but think a little bit about it and just remember that if you're having a hard time with social media. Alrighty. So we might get a little bit deep in the weeds here, with some stuff I'm going to be bringing up, but just bear with me, okay? If you have any questions, me and Connor are right here, and we are absolutely okay to answer them. So, with social media, the way to see your engagement that is happening, if your posts you feel are making a difference, it's a thing called analytics. So, a super broad overview definition of what analytics are. It's the ability to gather and find meaning in the data that is gathered for your business decisions or your personal decisions to keep posting on social media. It measures the performance and actions based on those decisions through social media. Super broad definition. And you might be wondering, why am I talking about this? Analytics are confusing. What do you mean? So, this takes the guesswork out of your message. This shows you who is listening to what you're posting, what's resonating with what you're posting, and where to focus energy on what you're posting. So let's take a look together at some analytics. It's going to be weird numbers, weird graphs, but that's okay. We'll take our time. Can you all see this? See the graphs?
Yep, we can see them.
Awesome, thank you. So this is what Facebook analytics look like. This shows me my views, and they're up from other posts. It can show me my page views and non-followers. And then it can also show you the engagement you can see on different posts. Let's see. So I will show you the Day for All People post that I read the caption for earlier. You can see it got around 5,000 views. The viewers that interacted were around 3,000 views. This means they might have pushed on the post, they might have scrolled through the photos, something like that. And then the interactions in total means that they liked it, they shared it, they liked a picture, something like that. They commented. That was around 85. And net followers from this post, I got 2 followers from people that saw that post. And then the impressions, that is similar to the viewers, similar to people that are just scrolling by and engage with it a little bit by scrolling pictures or seeing it on another friend's feed. And then the comments, I got 2 comments. So that, I know, and it can be very confusing, but it can also be very helpful as to if your comments are, if your captions are working, your storytelling captions. That post did very well for me, for the storytelling caption that I posted. And you can also see if your pictures of people are doing better than your pictures of flyers are doing better. And I do have a step-by-step how to do analytics guide, because if we did a step-by-step how to do analytics right now, it would probably take until 9 p.m., which I would totally love to do, but I don't think we all want to sit on Zoom till 9. But I will email you guys the step-by-step how to use analytics guide. And it shows you how to find them on each of your social media platforms, what to use them for, and everything. But I wanted to give you a quick overview, a quick broad overview of what analytics are and why social media people look at them and where to focus your energy with. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Alrighty. Now we have a lot of time left, but truly I wanted to be able to give you all time to ask questions, especially for those that came in as what they're not the biggest fan. If there's specific questions that you have, I'm here to answer them. Connor is also here to answer them. So whatever you may have, you can drop it in the chat or just even raise your hand or just unmute yourself. So please feel free to ask any questions. And I'm seeing any questions, but I will name that if you have any questions pop up, you can feel free to email me oh, Connor, you have a
The
question?
question,
Yes.
this is kind of a question for the group, but I'm curious to see how you all are using social media, if you are using social media. I know we had some people mention that they use social media for work or maybe different volunteer things they're a part of. So I would be curious if people are willing to share how they're using their social media and like, what their experience has been so far, if that's okay.
Yeah. Yes. Please, anybody, feel free to share how you are using social media currently.
Begrudgingly. with volunteer various different volunteer organizations that I'm part of. A lot of the communication is via Facebook and Facebook Messenger. And what can I say? I'm a dinosaur. It's not that I don't know how to use it. It's just that I find it less efficient than other means of communicating, like picking up the phone. So, but I mean, I understand the value of it, and I understand that I am a dinosaur. So personally, it's just I just use Instagram for, communicating with friends, and I'm consistently amused by the creativity of the memes. So
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, absolutely. And I hope today you're able to get something that can help you, and we'll see you some other things
absolutely.
later.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent
Yeah, absolutely. I
presentation. I
did see a
appreciate it.
question pop up in the chat. Let's see. From Janice. She asked, is it helpful to tag others in organizations? Absolutely. Um, I'll give an example that with me and Connor, when we advertise for events, we often collaborate on posts and tag each other, share it on each other's pages. So that way, their followers that may not be following Virginia Interfaith, Center for Public Policy, can follow us, and our followers who may not be following Virginia Interfaith Power and Light can follow them as well. So by tagging others and sharing with others, it gets more engagement. You can get more followers that way. I definitely think that's a great idea. So thank you for that question. If anybody else wants to share how they're using social media, we'd love to hear it.
Just real quick, I wanted to second what Amanda was saying about the collaboration feature, especially on Instagram, and I think Facebook now allows you to do it. But it's if you're working with other organizations, or maybe if you're doing like kind of how Amanda was alluding to, like joint events, it really like I think some of just speaking for like VIPL, a lot of our posts that do the best are collaboration posts. So like even if we're doing like we've done open mic nights at a coffee shop. And so we approached them and said, hey, like when we post this, can we collaborate on it? That way, like, your customers see that there's something going on. And then also, like, we can kind of cross pollinate that way. And so it not only makes it a lot easier and more efficient to like promote your event, but it, kind of just long term builds like that relationship with who you're working with, and then your following and engagement as well. So I just wanted to reiterate how important it is when you do stuff like that and how helpful it is. But
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Connor. Janice has another question. Oh, that's a good one. Does commenting on your post increase visibility of the post for others? So, the only time I would comment on a post is to ask a follow-up question. So in the caption, I can say, come to this advocacy event that we're having. We hope to see you there. And then in the comments, I can ask, I can say, can you tag a friend that you're planning on bringing? That helps definitely reach people to engage with the post more, to comment on the post more. The only time I would not comment on a post is if I am saying great job to the post that I made myself. Uh, the only time I would comment on a post is to be continuing the conversation or replying to another's comment that was on the post. So, anybody else have any questions? Oh,
can I
Connor,
add
you
one more
did.
thing? Sorry.
Yeah.
My
It's
wheels are
okay.
turning now. I would also add like, something that like a tool I've used before, like when I'm trying to jumpstart a social media feed, like if it's been dormant for a little while or it's a brand new like social media page, I like will have what's called like a social media team. And so like how many likes, comments, interactions your post gets within like the first, I would say maybe 30 minutes of it going live really determines how many people will see that post like long term. So like usually the life cycle of a post, people will keep seeing it for like a day or two maybe. And so if you can get a bunch of interactions like relatively soon after you post, that tells the algorithm that like, hey, this post is really popular, so let's go show it to all these other people for free. And so you don't have to waste money on digital ads. And so what I'll do sometimes to kind of like get a feed a little jump started is I'll have like five to 10 like volunteers who just have their post notifications on for the account that I'm trying to boost. And like they'll get pinged every time a new post goes up, so they just go in immediately, like it, maybe they'll leave a comment, they'll share it on their story or their social media feed. And it I cannot undersell how much that helps. And it shows it to a bunch of other people. Um, and so sometimes too, I'll even have like a group chat with them in it. So I'll create like a messenger group chat or even just like a traditional texting group chat and just say, hey, no new post is up, go like it. And it helps that way too. So like comments and all that too can be helpful. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to throw that trick out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Connor. And oftentimes you might see VICPP and VAIPL commenting on each other's posts. Not only are we supporting each other's work, but we're also helping with engagement. Um, Jenny, I see your little hand. If you do you have another question for us?
I do have another question. So,
Awesome.
a church that I'm a member of, but I live in a different place now. Obviously, I live in Virginia, but Unity on the Bay in Miami, Florida, it has a super active social media presence.
Yeah.
And so I find that I will have photos of things from Unity on the Bay show up in my photo, like in my photos on my phone, like as though I took the photo in those photos. How do they do that? I mean, I suppose I could ask them, but it's quite interesting. I mean, obviously, it's fine with me. I love these guys. I'm still a member of that church. So, but it's quite interesting that that happens. It's also, I mean, I follow them on Instagram, but things actually show up in my photos. So
Okay. That that is interesting.
maybe
Connor,
you ought to try it. It's pretty
yeah.
effective.
Have you heard about that type of advertisement before? Because I don't think I've heard of it.
So let me just clarify real quick. Ginny, do you mean like the photos that what was the name of the church again?
It's Unity on the Bay in Miami.
Okay, so like photos that Unity on the Bay posts to their social media feed somehow shows up in your camera roll.
Yeah, I mean, so in other words, it might be a let me see. Hang on one second. Let me get my phone and let me see if I can give you. So there might be a photo of their backpack drive, or of their senior minister, you know, at an event, or it might be. I have other ones, and of course, I'm probably not going to be able to find any right now. But oh, uh, now accepting board applications.
And those
Okay.
just
Like
show up like on your like
it's in my photo library.
oh.
So
So
only
uh let's see. And so sometimes it might be an inspirational quote, 40-day Lent journey. This doesn't say Unity on the Bay, but I'm sure it's from Unity on the Bay because that's where Wednesday prayer circle every Wednesday, 12:30 Eastern Standard via Zoom. And it's like this whole thing. Let's see if I can
yeah.
get it.
Oh yeah, I see it.
So
And
it's like
it's in your
moving and
camera.
everything. I mean, these guys are rock stars as far as social media is concerned.
Wow.
But I just didn't know how that was possible because
Yeah.
it's not on my Instagram feed. It's in my photo library.
Um
Okay.
so I'll be honest with you, Jenny. I have no idea how that is happening. I have not heard that
Do you want
before.
to know?
The only the only thing I could think of is if so do you guys share like an email account or anything that you like set up when you were there? That might be the
Yeah, oh
only way
yeah,
it's
they have
popping in.
definitely they communicate with me via email.
Well, I guess like, are they like, is there a Unity at the Bay at Gmail or something like that that you use on your personal phone that they might also have access to?
No,
That's the
not
only thing
that
I can
I
think
use.
of.
I mean, not that I use. I mean, they may have emailed me from that address, but I
Okay.
don't use it.
The other,
It's just like magic. And it seems quite effective to me. So that's why I was asking. I mean, if it weren't Unity on the Bay, for which I have a special place in my heart, I might, be annoyed. But because it is Unity on the Bay, I'm not annoyed. I'm amazed.
okay. The
So
only other thing that would be happening is if they send you direct messaging on Facebook or even text. Sometimes on phones it automatically saves pictures. Uh, but I have not heard of any advertising that directly sends it to your camera roll. So that is very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so in other words, they do send me text messages, but those are
Okay.
not, but those text messages are not the ones that are showing up on my phone. I mean, in my
Okay.
photo library, like they have nothing to do with my photo library.
All
The
right.
messages don't. So they're like really specific for like, there's a meeting at this time or whatever.
Okay.
So I find it very amazing.
Uh,
So I can reach out to their social media gurus, as it were, and let you know if you're interested.
Sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
You know,
sure, and also like Amanda and I can talk with you more offline because I'll be honest, that's not supposed to be happening. So like that's not
oh,
like
okay.
as far as I'm aware, unless a new update came out while I was sleeping last night. I don't think that's a feature social media has, and I don't know. I've never heard of that. So yeah, let's talk more about this later because I'm curious now.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
All right. I do believe I see Matt with your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Yeah, no, I have a comment. Somebody could do this right now. Just ask AI why that's happening. You'll get an answer real fast.
That's totally
Totally
I
true,
will let
except for
Amanda
you
do
might not
that.
get the right answer.
I will let Amanda do that as an environmental or no, I'm kidding.
no,
Yeah, we can.
as an organization that also supports our environmental uh justice orgs, I will let you all do that on your own time. But yes, thank you for that suggestion. Absolutely. Is there anybody else that has any questions, maybe? Rachel, I see your hand.
Yeah, so for my organization, I use social media right now mostly just to post links to eBlasts and just like weekly stuff that we send out. I used to schedule a whole bunch of stuff in advance, but like with the state of the world being what it is right now, I get nervous about scheduling too many things. I'm just wondering how y'all approach that, or if you stay away from scheduled posts, or if you have any like tips on that.
Absolutely. Me and Connor are both very familiar with scheduling posts. So, very much I'm in the same boat of the state of the world. It's kind of been hard to schedule posts. And the main posts that I have specifically been scheduling have been for holidays or events I know that are coming up that need specific advertisements. It's been a little hard to schedule with news that's popping up, and especially during the General Assembly. Everything happens so quickly, especially with our policies and bills going through like super quickly. Um, I recommend to schedule what you can. So that being holidays, events, like I said, and any other things that you know you have coming up to definitely schedule those. And other things I would recommend is to just have a template, maybe made in Canva, which is a designing platform, very easy to use, um, that you can use if you need a super quick post to go up. Um, hopefully that helps a little bit. But yeah, I know it's definitely stressful with scheduling right now. I get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. All right, my friends, anybody else have any questions?
I do. I do. I have one more question.
Oh, yes,
Sorry.
please, Jenny. Yes.
I'm trying to feed my dogs in the meantime here because they're starving. So how is the best way for me as a layperson who's just like volunteers with various different organizations or supports organizations' philosophies? How is the best way for me to support them through social media? So, how's the best way for me to support you through social media?
I love that question. Thank you so much for that. I would just say to engage as much as you can. So when you see a post come up, like it, comment on it, and even share it on your personal page. That's truly the best way to engage with on social media. And if you want to have notifications turned on, um, you can absolutely do that.
If
You can
what?
do that
I'm sorry, I
if
missed that.
no to have our post notifications turned on.
Yeah, I see you're
It's
disappearing
okay.
on me.
Well, I think,
Sorry.
Amanda, I think I know what you're saying, so I'll jump in real quick.
Okay.
Have post notifications turned on. So when you're looking at like a Instagram page or a Facebook page, there's
Yeah.
typically it looks like a bell icon. And so what that will do is so anytime like Amanda or I make a post on our social media feeds, it'll give you a like a push notification to your phone saying, "Hey, Virginia Interfaith Center for Public Policy just made a post," or they just shared a video. And so
Okay.
that's somehow you can I think that's where Amanda was going with that, if I heard the first part correctly.
Yeah, that's super helpful. That's super helpful. So it's not in other words, it's not good enough just to follow an organization because you're not going to really see it's going to get mixed up in the stew of social media, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions. I'm gonna share my screen one more time. So before we head out, I would love for you to drop in the chat just one that you have for your social media after this meeting. And it could be to maybe get 5 by 2027. That's perfect. But yeah, just drop one social media goal you have, or if you even want to share it out loud, we'd love to hear it. I will
I'm going to
say
share
that,
it out. I'll share it
yeah,
out loud.
absolutely,
I
please.
I just want to continue to get more literate with social media and to support those organizations that I want to, give them further voice. So I've learned a lot about how to do that. Thank you so much. What a terrific presentation. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining us on a Tuesday night. We're really thankful. Yeah, my goal for social media specifically with Virginia Interfaith is to continue sharing more stories of advocacy with all of the Commonwealth of Virginia. So yeah, love seeing all your goals in the chat. That's awesome. And
I'll
before we
share
leave, yes,
I'll say real
Connor,
quick,
please.
just Virginia Interfaith Power and Light. I think one of our goals for this year is to definitely post more fun content. I heard someone say earlier they love all the memes and how creative the memes are they see on social media. Me and Amanda love a good meme. And if you
Do.
follow us on Instagram and stuff, we love to post fun, try to bring some joy into a very, difficult space sometimes. And so I would just my closing bit of advice is definitely lean into the memes and the trendy videos. Those really help you reach new audiences as well. So drop that there.
Yep. Thank you, Connor. Yep, we love a good fun post. Before you all leave, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I truly hope that you were able to take away some just a little something from tonight. Uh, and we will send you all some information afterwards as well. And here is me and Connor's information. Please feel free to email us any questions. And I just realized I have a typo in my email, so I'm going to type that in the chat. I am so sorry for that. But yes, please email with any of your um, questions with social media, or if you even find a funny post you want to share with us. I love to see a good meme, like Connor said. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're gonna end a little bit early, but uh, thank you so much again, and we will email you all the material we have. Thank
Thank
Thanks,
you.
you.
guys. Good
Hey,
night.
Yeah,
everyone.
have a good night,
So much,
everybody.
Amanda. Thanks, Connor. I hope you feel better.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.